Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. This is Kaisar Hayat. I am lecturer in English, Department of English, Kohat University of Science and Technology. Dear student, Assalamu alaikum. We are studying English Code 334 and today is the 34th lecture of our course Technical and Business English. The topic we are covering is today is the second part of our topic, that is resume writing. How would we make a resume? How would we develop a good resume? What should be included in resume and what should not be included in resume? And what is the difference between a resume and CV? These are the main areas that we shall cover in today's lecture. But before we proceed, let's see the discussion agenda, the outline of the class. Discussion agenda is that first of all we shall define what is a resume, key components of a resume, keynotes for functional resume, and what the employer want to know in a resume, what is a CV, and difference between resume and CV. Student, let's build a resume. This is the third and final portion in which we would try to mold a resume. So let's start with the definition that what is a resume. Resume is a summary of your educational qualification detail. It highlights your skill and experiences relevant to the field. Student, in the first 2 points we see that resume is actually that how much capable of how much educational qualifications you have. So what is the level of your education and what is the level of your experiences in the field that you are mentioning there, that is clear, that must be clearly depicted by the resume. Another point is that a resume highlight your objective and accomplishment, that what type of accomplishment you prefer, and what are your objectives that you want to get through this resume, what type of responsibility you want, etc. Now, a resume also propose to get you an interview call. A resume make you able to be called for an interview. A resume should reflect more than just work experience. It also mentions the surroundings of your expertise, etc. It should consider your extracurricular and leadership qualities, and it is the thing about a particular subject that requires direction, instruction, or explanation. Student, this was the definition as well as the activities, the performances, the functions that a resume perform. Let me go once again on these points. Resume is a summary of your educational work. You must mention your educational completely. It highlights your skill and experiences. While making a resume, your skill and experiences in the relevant field must be clearly mentioned, must be clearly depicted. A resume highlights your objective and accomplishment. Its purpose is to get you an interview call. Definitely you are putting your resume in a competition where an interview would be there, and your interview can base on your resume expertise. It should consider your extracurricular and leadership qualities that you have. You can mention into it an interview that would be testified later on by seeing from your resume, and so on. So resume is a very important and a very relevant document that is linked with your future. While molding, while making your resume, you must be very careful that there should not be any abilities left which is necessary for your employer to be known. Now, after the introduction of resume, let's know some Types of resume. There are many types of resume, but some are important types are occupational resume, that's just related to the occupation. Chronological resume, in which you mention everything in a specified order. Functional resume, combination resume, and curriculum vitae. Now there are some important key points that are always present in a resume, and these key points are the personal information. At the top of resume, you must clearly mention your personal information, that who are you, your job objective. After the personal information, you have to mention your job objective, that if you are given with the job, what type of objective you have. After the job objective, there is key accomplishment, the completions, and your education and professional experiences that you have. Then some affiliations, interest. So these are the key components of a resume. These are the content of the key component of a resume. These are the important elements that must be there in resume. First of all, you would mention your personal information. Then you have to come on your job objective, that what is your objective, some key accomplishment, education, what is your education, highest education, and later on more details. Professional experience, how much professional you are in the profession, and some interest and affiliations, and some references you have to make so that you are a trustworthy person. You are a person to whom that would be dependable. So after these areas, let's go to keynotes for functional resume. A functional resume should include personal detail like name, address. At the top of the page, as I said, there must be your name, your email, your phone number, so that while consulting your resume, you must be called, and that would be easy to contact you. Then objective describing positions you seek, that for which job you are applying and why you are applying. If there are a lot of people, why you should be selected among all. You should clearly mention and depict these. Then profile giving summary of your talent and experiences. If you have specified talent, if you have a lot of experience in the field, you must mention in it. Now experience listing your positions, employer and datas. Experience listing your positions, employer and dates, that must be clearly mentioned, so that the receiver must be confident that you have sent the applications or the resume at exact place. The educational details and training undergone, if you have, you must mention it in a functional resume. Lastly, award and recognition received. Student, these are the areas that you must note for a functional resume if you want to apply for a job. So your resume should include your personal detail, that is always necessary in all type of resumes. Your objective, that what you want to apply, what you want to do, what is your objective, what is your purpose behind these applications, and what would you do in the future if you are selected in the job. What is your vision? What is your objective? Now the profile giving summary of your talent. If you have talent and experiences in the specified and exact field, you can mention it. Now educational detail and training undergone, that is very necessary, that if you are already trained for the job you are applying for, definitely you would be given preferences. And but the requirement is that you must clearly mention it, and you must make it possible to reach to the employer that you are experienced and trained for the jobs. The last, award and recognition. During the work, if you have previous experiences and you have got a lot of awards and rewards, you can mention it here. That would help you a lot. Your employer would be in a good position to understand that you are a good worker, you are a good boss, you are a good responsible person, and you would be given preference over others. Now, what our employer want actually from resumes, like if we are applying for a job, definitely different people prepare their resume in a different way. But what is the exact way that a resume should be prepared for? But you must know that actually you are sending something, you are preparing something for the sake of an employer. So what an employer want, you can fulfill his or her requirement through your resume. You must be well known about the fact that what type of things an employer needs. These are that first of all, you should provide the information about the fact every employer is giving job that his work must be done in a very effective, good way in a short possible time. So you must know that what can you do for me? This is on the part of the employer, that what can you do for the employer? So your answer should be that I can perform the relevant job in a very good way. I am trained in it. I have 3-year experience in it. You can mention the job. So this way you would fulfill the thirst of the employer, that what he wants, and you have provided exact information for him or her in your resume. If you are beating about the bush, that you are trained, so you are mentioning you are training in one direction and your experience in the other directions, then definitely your employer won't be inspired due to your this resume. So you can manage your resume well by providing the exact information, by guessing the need, that what type of information your employer need. So if he need that what can you do for me, you can mention the exact output that you can give to the employer. Another important point in this regard is that how can you improve my operations? Student, this question is always in the mind of the employer. So when you are preparing your resume, you must be well aware about the fact that how can you improve the operation of the employer. If your employer is in a position to provide you a job, then you must be in a position to enhance his operations. If he is in charge of something, so definitely he wants to improve the efficiency of his firm or even his own performances through making you the member of his or her team. So he or she would be ready to make you the member of his or her team until and unless you are good enough to ensure him or her that you can enhance the operations of the firm, of the company. So your resume must depict that how can you improve the operations. If you are applying for a job, definitely you would be in a position to know that what type of services operation are there in a field. Definitely you are applying for a job and you must have some know-how about the job, about the operation. So another question that is always there in the mind of your employer is that, can you make me money? Student, money is always there. This is a fact that money is solution to many issues, and this is one of the entity that is mostly targeted in the world, because you can buy maximum things with the money and you can make your life comfortable. You can achieve many things with the help of money. So everybody want to get money. If there is a business firm, if there is a business factory, definitely they want to improve their business and they want to get more money. So if they are including you into the team, so they must know that how much money they would get on your shoulder. So you must mention, if you are mentioning your training, you are mentioning your expertise, if you are mentioning your education, if you are mentioning your abilities, strength, energy, so it means that are directly putting there the force that is needed to get more money. If your need is to get money in the shape of salary, definitely their purpose is to get money due to your work. So you mention that how much well you will perform and how much more money they can earn due to you. But make it sure that you must not mention that you can get more money if you select me as a member. No, 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 no. You have to mention your abilities. This is their work to take glimpse idea from your expertise, that if you are expert, definitely less time a work would be performed in a very less possible time, and definitely if time is minimized, performance would be enhanced and money would be directly or indirectly achieved. Another important question is they save me time. Yes, I have mentioned that time is money. Money is money, but time is also money. So if you save time, you are expert. Definitely, if a person can perform a job in a 12 hours, you can do it in a 6 hours. So 50% time is reduced. So time is money. You saved a lot of things for the employer. Now, keep my customer happy. Yes, if you keep the customer of the employer happy, you are a good choice to be selected. How much expertise you have in public relations dealings? How can you make your employer happy? How can you make the customer happy? If you are making customer happy, a lot of customer would come to the owner, the employer. Your resume must not only show the skills you have, it must demonstrate your success too. Student, if you are molding a resume, that should not only mention skill, it should also mention your success. So this is a token of your success. How much attractive your resume is, that much chances are there of your success. What is a CV? CV is a widely used word in our circles. Whenever someone is going for a job, CV words is must use. That send me CV or give me CV or I am sending you my CV. So what is CV? And later on we would see that what is the difference between a CV and a resume. A curriculum vitae provide an overview of a person's experience and other qualifications. Yes, this is the short form of curriculum vitae, and that provide you a lot of personal experience and other qualifications. It is a typically used to screen applications, often followed by an interview. Yes, this is a typical way that you must consult the CVs and shorten the list. Now, a CV is the most flexible and convenient way to make applications. If you are giving the CV, everything is mentioned into it. Your job giver can consult your abilities and decide that whether you should be called for interview or not. It is an application form that is designed to bring out the essential information, personal qualification that the employer requires. So many things is mentioned. A CV, that is a type of resume rather, but there is some difference between a CV and a resume, and the difference is that a resume should be up to 2 pages. That is a short actual representations. Later on we would check it, we would read it in a separate slide too. So let's make a resume. Let's build a resume. Now, contact information. Your contact information is the most important part of your resume. Name, address, options, city, state, zip code, telephone number, etc. All must be mentioned at the top of the page. That is your personal information. So make it exact and true, so that later on when you are asked to contact, you can easily contact. make an impact objective career profile. Here a short statement that include the job title you want and the main reason why that should consider you for the positions. In objective you can mention that why you should be selected, why you should be selected and elected. Now this process is continued. We are making a resume now. After the objective, a short paragraph, 3 to 5 sentences you can mention that highlight your experience and qualification, that what the job you are applying for. That paragraph should depict your experiences, qualifications, that why you are the fit person for the job. Now, short paragraph, 3 to 5 sentences that highlight your experiences and qualification that make the job you are applying for. And skill related to the job you are seeking are strength, key accomplishment, or skill that you are directly relevant to the job you are seeking. So in these three places mentioning, you can mention a lot of your personal abilities. More abilities are that you can mention let's build a resume, and that is that educational list diplomas, how much degrees you have achieved, like the school's name, cities and state, university. If you didn't graduate college, list total semesters completed, list date of accomplishment, or a recent graduate last 3 years. You must mention your educational abilities and all, so that your employer must be ensured that you are a well qualified person. Student, this was all about today's class, that what is a resume and how should we make a good resume. We have mentioned all the important points that are necessary for a resume. Thank you very much for being with me in the class.